Hello everybody, it's Thursday, February the 14th at night, 2013. This evening I want to talk to you about stress and all the different types of things it can do to the human body from what I've learned from my psychiatrist, my medical doctor, and my endocrinologist. From what I've learned in my own experiences, is a series. Lots of things can happen and manifest. They can cause the body to undergo fight or flight mode, where a burst of energy or adrenaline is released. This can be good for a short period of time, like in dangerous situations. It can produce feats of strength if you need to rescue somebody or save somebody or whatever. But if it's an ongoing thing, it can cause your body to shut down and need time to reboot. And however long that rebooting time is, it depends on the person and whether or not they take measures to reduce or eliminate stress as much as possible that's already in existence of their lives. For me, I believe that stress can be triggered by one event or a multiples of events, and they can either be a one-time deal, or it can be something that's ongoing. Then you can factor in other types of stress. If it's an ongoing event, then you can factor in many periods of stress on top of that, what your body's already going through. So, for example, for me, I had to deal with my mom's past her illness and sickness for the past 20 years. So I think my body just got used to it, having that adrenaline. And I went through many stress periods where I'd get sick, get the flu, whatever, and somehow I'd bounce back and go back to normal. We're exercising, seeing friends, personal life, home life. And home life growing up was also quite stressful, and with my father and his partner. I think that triggered an underlying thyroid condition, which is now stable. Now, I recently learned from my psychiatrist, if there was an ongoing period of stress, whether it's a few days, a few weeks, months, years, etc., once that source of stress, a cumulative stress, is gone, your body no longer has that adrenaline. Yes, it's good that the stress is gone, but it doesn't have that adrenaline that it normally uses to function. So then your body shuts down and needs to reboot, and that rebooting process can take a few days, a few weeks or months, or even several months or a year. It depends whether you, like I said, you take measures to reduce your stress overall and take protocols to protect yourself. What else? For me, what happened to me, as I said in one of my other videos, is my mom passed away almost a year ago. So that source of stress was gone. Then there was planning the funeral. So you add another source of stress to the stress that was just eliminated. So my body was already shutting down, but then you throw in another source of stress. Then work started to get ridiculous. The owner and the management were harassing all the employees, taking advantage of them, micromanaging them, overworking them. They were losing customers, and they blame everybody who worked for them instead of the people in control looking at themselves. Because whenever they tried to put in measures to correct problems, people did them, and it still caused problems. But of course, the owner's too high and mighty to look at himself in the mirror. I'm not going to name anybody or name anywhere just because of privacy issues, but basically you'd follow everything the way they're supposed to, and if you made a mistake you'd fix it or report it, or if there's unhappy customers you'd report it, you'd fix it, and never made a difference. So you add that source of stress into the mix of having my mom just passed away and planning our wedding on top of it and the funeral, and so there's a huge toxic environment that my body was under, and I started getting chest infections and collapsing on the floor when I'd come home, sleeping, falling asleep on the wheel. My job was 60% on the wheel in sales. I was gaining weight, very pale, no sex drive, very irritable, not sleeping well, and I still was taking measures despite all that to spend time with my wife, to see family and friends and enjoy myself, and try and sleep and eat well. And I got to a point where I couldn't exercise anymore. No energy, I was just running myself into the ground. And if you're going through something like this, it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. Your bank account doesn't go to zero. There will be something else, coming. If it's, to me, the money's not worth it. Your health. What if you have, all this money, but you're always sick, too sick to enjoy it? And I know somebody who's out west chasing money in the oil industry, and they're willing to take a job that's a 3-hour commute one way, only paying one meal, and he doesn't know if the job, if he gets it, if they'll pay for him to stay out there, so it's easier for him. He doesn't even know that yet, but he's willing to do it for money, and bless his heart, he's trying to get me to go out there. He might watch this and be upset, but I just hope he doesn't make himself sick. He ended up being hired for a job that wasn't supposed to be the job he was hired for, and he got wrongfully dismissed because he didn't have the proper training for his job. But he was working, 6 days a week, 50, 60 hours a week, and he was dead tired. And there were times where he'd tell me he wanted something better. He was trying to start a business, but he didn't think he could do it, or he was told he couldn't do it because of money. I just hope he's okay, and I hope he needs to do what he needs to do. But I hope he can see there are other ways to break free. And if you're going through, if any of you people, anyone out in the audience is going through similar things, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to potentially kill yourself, or to go postal somewhere, or put yourself, in a heart attack situation, or a depression or suicidal environment. It's not worth it, especially if you have family and kids and people who care about you. It's not worth it. Best thing to do is, in my opinion anyway, I'm no professional, all I can recommend, it's up to you if you want to, is to go to your doctor, get help. We have another friend here where we are who works in the financial industry. He was off for almost 4 months getting therapy, but he didn't even use it to his advantage. He's back to square one, starting back at work part-time, complaining about the same old things, saying that if the next person who crosses him, he might kill them, and he's always complaining about them, and wanting to get another job, but he's not going to get another. His birthday's coming up, and we want to do something for him, but he's not even thinking about it. He doesn't even want to do anything with us because he's like, oh, the jerks are getting to me and I can't take it, and I just need to rest. He's taking care of a relative right now at home who also takes advantage of him, driving around all over the place. So he has a 24/7 job. I just wish he was okay, but guys, it's really not worth the stress, living with stress. You got to take care of yourselves, and no one can do it for you. You have to choose, and if you do, great. If you don't, I wish you the best. But to live a full life, what good is money if you're not sick? If you're too sick to enjoy it or too stressed out, you got to take care of yourself, guys. That's all I can tell you. Now is the time to really empower yourself, to fill yourself with love and positivity, and a stress-free environment, or at least as little stress as possible. That's all that matters. Take care of yourself first, then your family and your friends. And if you have people in your life who don't support this, then you either need, in my opinion, I've cut them out or I keep my distance. That's at least me. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's up to you. Anyway, I gotta go and do some relaxation techniques, but I wish you the best and have a good evening.